Have you ever been so invisible that someone could walk past your desk every single day for 3 years and still not know your name? That's what it feels like to be a pawn in someone else's kingdom. And let me tell you, I was done being invisible. But before we dive into how I finally made them see me, hey, if you love stories about underdogs who refuse to stay down, about karma served cold with a side of poetic justice, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button because this story, it's just getting started. The Secret Santa Swap, December 19th, 6 days before Christmas. I was 20 minutes early, like always, organizing files at my desk when Richard Hartwell walked past me. Again. 6 feet tall, designer suit that probably cost more than my rent, phone glued to his ear. He didn't even glance my way. "Sarah," he called to his executive assistant. "Handle that Secret Santa thing. I don't care. Gift card, whatever." I watched him disappear into his corner office. 3 years I'd worked at Hartwell and Associates. 3 years of being the person everyone needed but nobody noticed. At my desk sat my Secret Santa gift, a hand-knitted scarf wrapped in tissue paper, cream and burgundy, soft merino wool. I'd stayed up until 2 a.m. finishing it, my fingers cramping because I wanted whoever got it to feel seen, cared for. By noon, the Secret Santa box sat in the break room. I'd already placed my gift inside that morning. Then I saw him. Richard walked in, barely pausing his phone conversation. He grabbed a coffee, noticed the box, and pulled out his wallet. He extracted a generic $5 coffee shop gift card and tossed it in. Not even wrapped, just tossed it. "Mr. Hartwell, it's supposed to be personal." Sarah started. "It's done. That's what matters." He walked out. I stood there frozen by the microwave. My hands were still sore from knitting. My bank account was crying from the wool I'd bought, and he'd just thrown in a $5 gift card like he was tipping a valet. That afternoon, all I could think about was some poor person opening that gift card tomorrow, someone who needed to feel valued, who needed to feel like they mattered. I thought about my daughter Maya, 8 years old, who'd asked me yesterday why I always looked so tired. "Does your boss know you're working so hard?" she'd said. "I don't think he knows I exist." At 6 p.m., I was the last one in the office. Again. I walked past the break room, stopped, looked at that red box. Nobody was around, just me, the box, and a decision I knew I shouldn't make. My heart hammered as I opened it. Right on top sat that gift card, and underneath, somewhere, was my scarf. "This isn't stealing," I whispered. "It's justice." I switched them. 15 seconds. That's all it took. I left before I could change my mind. The next morning, party day, I avoided the break room all day. At 5 p.m., the gift exchange began. I drew my number, got a vanilla candle, sat back down. Then I saw her. A teenage girl walked in, headed straight for Richard. "Dad," she said. "Dad!" She grabbed the last gift, the one on top, my scarf. She unwrapped it slowly, held it up, touched it like it was precious. "Dad, look." Richard glanced over. "That's nice. Ready to go?" "Someone made this by hand." "Great. Can we leave?" She wrapped it around her neck, staring at it like treasure. Richard walked out without a second glance. I sat there watching this girl hold my heart like it was the only gift that mattered. What the hell had I just done? I couldn't sleep that night. I kept seeing her face, the girl's face, when she'd touched that scarf. The way her fingers had traced the stitches like she was reading a message. The way her father had dismissed it without really looking. Maya found me at the kitchen table at 2 a.m. "Mama, you okay?" "Just thinking about work, baby." "You should quit that job. They don't appreciate you." 8 years old, and she could see what 47 employees couldn't. Monday morning, Sarah leaned over my cubicle wall. "Did you see Richard's daughter Friday?" My heart stopped. "What?" "At the party, Sophia. She's doing a court-ordered internship here. Messy divorce. Part of the custody agreement is she has to spend time with her father." Sarah lowered her voice. "Really, she just sits in the lobby on her phone. It's sad watching them together. Like two strangers forced to exist in the same space." "She seemed to like her Secret Santa gift." "Oh my God, yes! She came in this morning still wearing it. She's asking around who made it. She wants to thank them properly." The room tilted. Asking around? Yeah, she keeps saying someone really cared and she wants to know who. I turned back to my computer, couldn't focus. She was looking for me, the person who'd made that scarf. And that person was me, and I'd gotten it through theft. At lunch, I saw her in the lobby, Sophia, sketching in a notebook, the burgundy scarf still around her neck. I should have walked away. I walked over. That's really good, I said, nodding at her sketch. She looked up, startled. Thanks. What is it? The view from the 40th floor, my dad's office. I'm not allowed to sketch up there because it looks unprofessional. That's detailed for memory work. I have a lot of time to stare out windows. She closed the notebook. Do you work here? Yeah, administrative. 3 years. You like it? I almost laughed. It pays the bills. That's what everyone says about everything they hate but won't quit. She touched the scarf. This is the first thing that's felt right in a while. Someone made this, actually made it. Spent time on it. I've been trying to figure out who. My throat tightened. Your secret Santa gift? Yeah. I want to say thank you. I want them to know it mattered. She looked at me directly. Do you know who made it? No, I lied. The word tasted like ashes. I don't. Well, if you hear anything, I'm Sophia. 40th floor. Sort of. Emma. 3rd floor. Definitely. She almost smiled. Nice to meet you, Emma, from the 3rd floor. I walked away before I could say anything else. That afternoon, I saw Richard leave with Sophia trailing behind. He was on his phone. She was quiet, hugging her notebook, the scarf still around her neck. They walked past my desk. He didn't notice me, but she did. She gave me a small nod, and something shifted in my chest, something that felt like purpose. Maybe I hadn't made a mistake. Maybe I'd made the only choice that mattered. Sometimes the smallest acts create the biggest ripples. Next chapter, things get complicated. Tuesday morning, I had a plan. Keep my head down, avoid Sophia at all costs. That plan lasted 47 minutes. I was at the printer when I heard voices in the supply room. Richard's voice, sharp, and Sophia's, quieter but strained. I don't understand why I have to be here at all, Sophia said. Because the judge said so. Because your mother insisted. Because apparently I need to make an effort. Richard's tone was ice. So here you are, making me look like I care. You're unbelievable. I'm busy, Sophia. I have a company to run. I can't drop everything to babysit you through some court-mandated bonding experience. Nobody asked you to babysit me. I'd rather you just admit you don't want me here. This conversation is over. Stay in the lobby. Don't embarrass me. Richard walked out, phone already to his ear. He didn't see me standing there, frozen. But Sophia did. She emerged, face flushed, eyes wet but defiant. We locked eyes for a half-second. She looked away, adjusted the burgundy scarf, and walked toward the elevator. Court-ordered time with a father who saw her as an obligation? A checkbox on a custody agreement? And I'd given her a handmade scarf while her own father couldn't even look at her without resentment. At 11:30, I made a choice I knew I'd regret. I grabbed 2 coffees and headed to the lobby. Peace offering, I said, holding out 1 cup. You looked like you could use it. Sophia looked up, suspicious. Why? Because you're here every day and nobody talks to you. Because I remember being 16. She took the coffee. Thanks. I sat across from her. What you drawing? She showed me, a girl standing in a crowd of faceless people. It's stupid. It's not stupid. It's lonely. She looked at me sharply. You a therapist or something? Single mom. Close enough. A small smile. How old's your kid? 8. Maya. She's the reason I get up in the morning. That's nice. Having a reason. Sophia's fingers traced the scarf. My parents split when I was 13. This internship is court-ordered. I'm supposed to reconnect with my father. She laughed bitterly. Hard to reconnect with someone who was never connected in the first place. He's just not good with people. He's not good with me. There's a difference. She pulled the scarf tighter. This scarf, though? Whoever made this actually cared. You can tell when something's made with love. This is love. And I need to know who did it. I need to thank them. My chest tightened. Why does it matter so much? Because nobody's cared about me in a really long time. Not like this. Her voice dropped. My dad gives me money. My mom gives me guilt. But someone out there gave me this, and they don't even want credit. That's something real. I wanted to tell her. God, I wanted to. Maybe they're shy, I said quietly. Or maybe they think I'm not worth the reveal. She closed her sketchbook. Story of my life. Hey. I waited until she looked at me. You're worth it. She blinked rapidly, fighting tears. You don't even know me. I know lonely when I see it. We sat in silence. Then Sophia's expression changed. She was looking past me. Richard was crossing the lobby. Dad? Sophia called out. He paused. What? Nothing, just have a good meeting. Right. He started to walk away, then stopped. That scarf looks nice on you. Sophia's hand flew to it. You think so? Sure, very colorful. And he was gone. The light in her eyes died instantly. He doesn't even remember, she whispered. Someone told me Richard Hartwell put in a $5 gift card. She looked at me. That was supposed to be mine, and instead I got this, which means someone switched them. Oh no. You know something, she said. It was you, wasn't it? You made this. You switched them. Every instinct screamed to lie. Yeah, I said quietly. It was me. Her expression was unreadable. You stole my dad's gift. I redistributed it. You lied. I made that scarf weeks ago and put my heart into it. When I saw your father throw in that gift card like Christmas was a joke, I couldn't let that be someone's gift. So yeah, I switched them. And I'm not sorry. You should be. Maybe. But I'm not. We stared at each other. Why? Sophia finally asked. Why did you care? Because someone had to. The truth is out. But when you pull threads on a broken family, you never know what unravels. Sophia stared at me for what felt like an hour, but was probably 10 seconds. Her hand clutched the scarf like she was afraid I'd take it back. So what now? She finally said. You expect me to thank you? I don't expect anything. Good. Because I don't know how to feel about this. She sat down heavily. Part of me wants to be mad, and part of me is just tired. I get that. Do you? She lowered the scarf. Do you get what it's like to have a parent who sees you as an obligation, who looks at you the same way he looks at quarterly reports? No, I admitted, but I get what it's like to be invisible, to work your ass off and have nobody notice. So you stole Christmas gifts to feel better? I stole one gift to keep someone from feeling worse. When I saw that $5 gift card, all I could think was, someone's going to open that and feel worthless. And I was done watching people feel worthless. Sophia was quiet. Then, my mom forgot my birthday last year. She was on a cruise. Sent me a Venmo with a heart emoji. My dad was in Tokyo. Also sent money. Didn't call. So yeah, I get the worthless thing. I'm sorry. Everyone's always sorry. Nobody changes anything. She touched the scarf softer. Except you did, even if it was small. It wasn't small to you. No, it wasn't. We sat there, two people from different worlds who understood the same language of loneliness. Why didn't you tell me? Sophia asked. When I was asking around? Because I didn't do it for credit, and when I saw how much it meant to you, I didn't want to ruin it by making it about me. That's either really noble or really messed up. Probably both. She almost smiled. You're weird, Emma. The elevator dinged. Richard emerged with other executives mid-conversation. He walked right past us without a glance. Sophia's expression hardened. See? Invisible. He's an idiot. He's my father. Both things can be true. I watched Richard disappear. Why do you wear the scarf every day? Because when I wear it, I remember someone cared. When I'm sitting in this stupid lobby doing this stupid internship for a father who doesn't want me here, I need that reminder. She looked at me. Even if that someone committed gift fraud. I prefer redistributed resources. She really smiled this time. Your trouble, Emma. You have no idea. Sophia pulled out her phone, showed me a photo. her sitting alone on a white couch, surrounded by expensive gifts, empty smile. Christmas last year. Everything's always perfect and empty. That's why your scarf matters. Because you did it yourself. With your actual hands. I stayed up till 2 a.m. My fingers were cramping. See? That's real. That's someone giving a shit. Her voice quieted. I can't remember the last time someone gave a shit about me. Not obligatory birthday money. Not court-ordered quality time. Just caring. My heart broke. Your dad does care. He just don't make excuses for him. Everyone does. She was right. I'm his kid. I shouldn't have to compete with quarterly earnings for his attention. I have a daughter, I said. Maya. She's 8. And yeah, I work too much. But she knows she's the most important thing in my world. That's how it should be. That's how it could be, if someone just showed him what he's missing. Sophia studied me. You sound like you're planning something. I'm thinking your dad needs to actually see you, not the obligation. You. And how do we make that happen? I don't know yet, but I see things other people miss, and what I see is 2 people who need each other but don't know how to bridge the gap. Sophia held out her hand. Deal. But if this goes wrong, it won't. You don't know that. No, but I'm willing to try. Are you? She looked at the scarf, then at me. Yeah, I'm willing to try. We shook on it. 2 conspirators plotting something neither fully understood, and I thought, your invisible employee and your invisible daughter just became visible to each other. That changes everything. When the overlooked team up, watch out. Next, the plan takes shape. That night, I sat at my kitchen table with a notebook and terrible ideas. Maya was asleep in her dinosaur pajamas. I had a blank page and a head full of plans for fixing a CEO and his daughter. Which was insane, which was none of my business, which would probably get me fired. I wrote the plan and started listing what I knew. Richard, workaholic, emotionally distant, sees employees as resources, sees his daughter as obligation, needs to be shown, not told. Sophia, artist, lonely, sharp, craves genuine connection, already suspicious because everyone's let her down. Me, invisible admin with access to everything. Good at observing, terrible at boundaries. My phone buzzed, unknown number. It's Sophia, got your number from employee directory. Hope that's not creepy. Are you really doing this? I texted back, are you? Yeah, I'm in. What's the plan? Still working on it. Meet tomorrow, lunch, coffee shop on 5th, noon. See you there. The next morning, I went straight to the 40th floor. Richard's assistant Sarah was setting up. Emma, you lost? Need to drop these reports off. I held up an empty folder. Does Mr. Hartwell have any big presentations coming up? Sarah sighed. The Community Outreach Foundation. Richard's pet project for tax purposes. He wants to launch it in January. Needs someone to run it who understands real people. She made air quotes. My heart raced. He's hiring for that? Hasn't posted it yet. Between you and me, he'll probably hire some Ivy League grad who's never met a real problem. What if he hired someone from inside? Someone who actually knows struggle? Sarah looked curious. You interested? Maybe. Just thinking out loud. I headed back downstairs, mind spinning. A foundation about understanding real people. Richard needed emotional intelligence. Someone who saw what others missed. Someone exactly like me. At noon, I met Sophia at the coffee shop. She'd ordered me a latte. You look intense, she said. I have ideas. I pulled out my notebook. Your dad is launching this community outreach foundation, right? Another tax write-off. Maybe, but he needs someone to run it, someone who understands real people. What if we showed him? What if we made him see what he's been missing, not just with you, but with everyone? How? Your art. It's incredible. It's all about being unseen. What if we got it in front of him? Really in front of him. Not just glanced at, but unavoidable. He won't look. He never does. He will if he doesn't know it's yours. I leaned forward. What if your art accidentally ended up where he can't avoid it? His conference room, his presentations? And then, when he's already impressed, we reveal it's you. That's manipulation. That's strategy. What's the difference? Intent. We're helping him see what's been in front of him all along. Sophia traced her coffee cup rim. And what's in it for you? Honestly, I'm tired of being invisible. If I can get that foundation job, if I can prove I'm more than the admin who makes his coffee, maybe things change. For me, for Maya, for everyone like us. So you're using my daddy issues to get a promotion. I'm using my skills to help both of us get what we need. You need your father to see you. I need your father to see me. Those aren't mutually exclusive. Sophia smiled slowly. You're kind of ruthless, Emma. I prefer resourceful. She opened her sketchbook, pages of isolation, invisibility, people alone in crowds. You really think this could work? I think we have nothing to lose. You're already invisible to him. I'm already invisible to him. At worst, nothing changes. At worst, we get fired and embarrassed. But at best, everything changes. Sophia looked at her drawings, then at me. Okay, I'm in, for real. What do you need? High-resolution scans of your best work, and trust. Trust is hard for me. I know, but I gave you that scarf, didn't I? I'm not running. I'm asking you to take a chance. Sophia extended her hand. All right, let's do this. Metaphorically burn things down. Obviously. She grinned. I'll email the scans tonight, and Emma, thank you for seeing me. Thank you for letting me. 2 invisible people, 1 impossible plan. Let's see how this plays out. The email from Sophia came at 11 p.m. Subject, Proof I Exist. 23 images loaded, each more stunning than the last. A girl in a spotlight while shadows passed around her. A crowded table with 1 empty glowing chair. Hands reaching across a chasm, fingertips barely missing. Every piece screamed, I'm here. Why can't you see me? I saved the files and started planning. Next morning, I arrived an hour early. The building was almost empty. Perfect. I headed to the 40th floor with my presentation materials. Richard's conference room was unlocked. I slipped inside, heart pounding. The presentation for the Community Outreach Foundation was already loaded. Richard was reviewing it at 8 with the board. 43 slides of corporate jargon and stock photos. I opened the file. Slide 15 deleted the generic hands coming together image. Replaced it with Sophia's drawing of hands reaching across a chasm. Slide 22. Out with happy community. In with her girl in the spotlight surrounded by shadows. Slide 37. Replaced teamwork stock photo with her empty glowing chair at the family table. I didn't change the text. Just replaced meaningless images with art that actually said something. Saved, cleared my tracks, got out. At my desk by 7 a.m., looking innocent. At 8:15, my phone buzzed. Sophia. Did you do something? Dad just called me to his office. He never calls me anywhere. Stay calm, be yourself. This is good. You sure? Trust me. At 9:30, Marcus from marketing appeared. Emma, Richard wants to see you. 40th floor. Now. My stomach dropped. Did he say why? Nope, but he seemed different, less robotic. I grabbed my tablet, mentally preparing my resignation speech. Sarah waved me through. He's expecting you. Sophia's in there too. I knocked. Come in. Richard sat behind his desk. Sophia sat across from him, looking terrified. Richard looked at me, really looked. Emma Torres, you changed my presentation this morning. No point lying. Yes, sir. Without authorization. You accessed confidential materials and altered them before a board presentation. Yes, sir. Sophia's eyes were huge. Richard stood, walked to the window. The silence stretched forever. Then he turned, expression soft, almost vulnerable. The board loved it, he said quietly. They said it was the most human presentation I'd ever given. The artwork elevated the message, made it real. He looked at Sophia. They asked who the artist was. Sophia sat frozen. I didn't know, Richard continued. Then I looked closer. He picked up a printed slide, the hands across the chasm. This felt familiar. He looked at Sophia. It's yours, isn't it? Yeah, she whispered. All of them? Yeah. How long have you been drawing like this? Years, since you and Mom split. And I never knew. You never asked. Richard flinched. No, I didn't. He turned to me. But you did. You saw her work. You understood. And you risked your job to make sure I saw it too. Why? Because she's incredible, and you were missing it. And I'm tired of watching people miss what's right in front of them. Richard stared at me. You have a daughter, Maya, 8 years old. You work here to provide for her. Yes, sir. How much do I pay you? 42,000. His jaw tightened. That's insulting. He moved to his desk. I need someone to run the Community Outreach Foundation, someone who sees people, someone who gives a damn. I'm offering you the position. 85,000, full benefits, your own team. He paused. On one condition. What condition? Help me fix this. He gestured between himself and Sophia. Whatever you did this morning, I need you to do that for us, because I don't know how. Sophia's mouth fell open. Dad, I've been a terrible father. I've missed everything, and I don't know how to fix it, but Emma does. He knelt beside Sophia's chair, eye level. I'm sorry. For all of it. I want to try. If you'll let me. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. Okay. We can try. Richard exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for years. He stood, extended his hand to me. Do we have a deal? I shook his hand. We have a deal. When the invisible finally gets seen, everything shifts. But the real work? It's just beginning. 3 weeks. That's how long the piece lasted. 3 weeks of Richard actually trying, showing up to Sophia's art showcase, asking about her day, learning about charcoal versus graphite. 3 weeks of me building my team, making real change. 3 weeks of feeling like maybe I'd done something right. Then the office holiday party happened, the one that blew everything apart. January 15th, a belated celebration because Richard had been traveling. The whole company gathered, champagne flowing. Richard stood with Sophia, actually listening to her explain perspective in art. I was watching them, feeling successful, when Marcus appeared. Proud of yourself? Little bit, yeah. You should be. Richard Hartwell acting like an actual father? Miracle. He sipped his drink. Speaking of, remember that Secret Santa drama? With the scarf? My blood turned to ice. What about it? Sarah figured it out. Someone switched gifts, took Richard's $5 gift card and replaced it with something handmade. I forced a laugh. That's wild. And Sophia got the handmade gift. That scarf she wears everywhere? Someone switched it. Marcus looked at me curiously. Wait, you know something. Before I could respond, Sarah's voice rang out. Okay, everyone, since we missed the actual Secret Santa reveal, I made a list of who gave what. No, 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 no. Sophia looked at me from across the room. Her expression shifted from relaxed to alert. Let's start with the mystery everyone's talking about, Sarah continued. The handmade scarf Sophia's been wearing. I did some digging. That scarf was made by our very own Emma Torres. Light applause. People turned to look at me, smiling. I couldn't breathe. But here's the interesting part, Sarah went on. Emma's Secret Santa recipient was Mike from accounting, and Sophia's Secret Santa was her father, Richard Hartwell. The room went quiet. People were doing the math. Richard's face went from confused to understanding to dark. Wait, what? Yeah, somehow the gifts got switched. Emma switched them. Richard's voice cut through the room like a knife. She took my gift and replaced it with hers. Every eye turned to me. Sophia stood frozen, hand clutching the scarf. Is that true? Richard asked, voice deadly calm. Did you switch the gifts? I could lie, make excuses, but I was done hiding. Yes, I said clearly. I did. Silence. Richard walked toward me, the crowd parting. You stole from a Secret Santa exchange. You took my gift and replaced it with yours, without permission. Yes. And then you lied, to me, to Sophia, to everyone. I didn't lie. I just didn't volunteer the information. That's the same thing. His voice rose. You manipulated this entire situation, the scarf, the artwork, all of it. You've been playing puppet master with my family. I was trying to help. Help? Richard laughed bitterly. You were trying to control. You saw a broken family and you saw a way to use it to get what you wanted. That promotion, that job, that salary. That's not, isn't it? Emma Torres saw a chance to climb the corporate ladder by exploiting my relationship with my daughter. She stole, she lied, she manipulated. And I fell for it. He addressed the room. You're fired. Effective immediately. The room spun. Mr. Hartwell? That position? Gone. That salary? Revoked. You're done. Dad! Sophia stepped forward, voice shaking. You can't fire her. I can and I will. She gave me this scarf because she cared, because nobody else did. She gave you that scarf because she saw an angle. Don't be naive. I'm not naive. Sophia's face was red, tears streaming. You want to know why she switched those gifts? Because you threw a $5 gift card in a box and called it Christmas spirit because you treated people like they didn't matter. Sophia, no, for once. Listen. She pulled off the scarf, held it up. This meant everything to me. Not because it was expensive, because someone made it with their hands and heart. Someone cared. And yeah, she switched the gifts. And yeah, maybe she had her own reasons. But she saw me when you couldn't. She helped you see me when you wouldn't. So if you fire her, you've learned nothing. The room was silent. Richard stared at his daughter. I'm trying to protect you. She saw me, Sophia said, voice breaking. There's a difference. She threw the scarf on the ground and walked out. Richard stood there, the scarf at his feet, his daughter gone, the company watching. He looked at me. Is that true? I could still lie. Yeah, I saw you throw that gift card in like Christmas was a joke, and I thought, someone's gonna open that and feel worthless. So I switched it. I gave your daughter my gift because I couldn't stand the idea of her feeling invisible, like the rest of us. And the promotion? I wanted it, yeah, but I didn't help Sophia to get it. I got it because I earned it, because I see what you miss. Richard bent down, picked up the scarf. She's right, isn't she? I learned nothing. No, you learned. You just forgot. What do I do? Go after your daughter. And you? I'll pack my desk. What if I don't want you to? What if I made a mistake? Did you? Richard looked at the scarf. Yeah, I did. He almost smiled. Please, don't go. I'm not done learning. Okay, but first, go fix things with Sophia, for real. He nodded, holding the scarf like a lifeline. Thank you for seeing us. That's what I do? When everything falls apart, that's when you find out what matters. Final chapter next. I found them on the roof. Richard and Sophia sat on a bench near the edge, the city lights sprawling below. The burgundy scarf was draped across both their laps, a bridge between them. I almost turned around. This wasn't my moment. But Richard saw me. Emma, come here. I walked over slowly. Sophia's eyes were red but calmer. Richard looked exhausted. I told her everything, Richard said, about the gift card, about being blind, about being scared, about being sorry. He apologized for real, Sophia added quietly. Not the corporate kind, the actual, I was wrong and I hurt you kind. That's good. And I told him about the art, all of it, everything I've been creating, for 3 years that he never asked to see. She wiped her eyes. Turns out it's hard to share your heart when you think nobody's listening. I'm listening now, Richard said. I know that doesn't erase 3 years, but I'm here. I'm trying. I realized something. I hadn't fixed them. I'd just given them permission to fix themselves. I need to tell you both something, I said. I didn't switch those gifts to be noble. I did it because I was angry at being invisible. I saw that gift card and I saw every dismissal, every time I didn't matter. And I wanted consequences. Consequences for me, Richard said. Yeah, I wanted you to feel small, to realize carelessness has a cost. I looked at Sophia. I didn't know you'd get that scarf. That was luck, or fate. Does it matter? Sophia asked. You gave me something real when I needed it most. But I used you. Both of you. I saw an opportunity and took it. I'm not some hero. I'm just someone who was tired of being stepped on." Richard was quiet. Then, "You know what I learned tonight? Intent matters less than impact. You can do the right thing for the wrong reasons, and it's still the right thing." He stood, extended his hand. "Still want the job? The real one. No manipulation. Just honest work with the understanding that you'll call me out when I'm being an idiot." "One condition," I said. "This foundation, it's real help for real people. Single parents, struggling families, people like me." "Done. And Sophia works with us. Paid internship. She creates the visual identity. Her art matters." Sophia's head snapped up. "Wait, what?" "Your art tells the story better than any corporate marketing. We need that. You need that." I looked at Richard. "Both of you, working together. That's the foundation." Richard looked at Sophia. "What do you say? You'll actually listen to my ideas?" "I'll listen. I'll probably screw up, but I'll listen." Sophia wrapped the scarf around both their necks, linking them. "Okay, I'm in. But I get creative control." "Deal. And Sunday dinners, twice a month. No phones." "Deal." They hugged, awkward at first, then real. 3 years of distance trying to collapse. It wouldn't fix everything. There'd be setbacks. But it was a start. "Tomorrow morning," Richard said. "Emma, you're director of community outreach. Sophia, lead visual designer. We build this right, together." "What about everyone downstairs?" Sophia asked. "They just watched a meltdown." "Let them talk." Richard held out the scarf to Sophia. "This is yours. I can't give you the last 3 years back, but I can give you this moment, this choice." Sophia took it, wrapped it around her neck. "It means more now, knowing you're trying." We stood there, 3 people from different worlds who'd collided in the strangest way, a CEO learning to be human, a daughter learning to hope, a single mother learning that breaking the rules is sometimes the only way to make things right. 6 months later, the Hartwell Foundation launched with a gala. The main exhibit featured Sophia's work, Invisible No More, pieces about isolation and the power of being seen. I stood in the back with Maya, who couldn't stop staring. "Mama, you helped make this?" "I helped make the space for it. The artist did the rest." "That's still important." "Yeah, baby, it is." At night's end, Sophia found me looking at the centerpiece, her drawing of the girl in the spotlight, but evolved. Other figures had emerged from shadows, hands extended, connecting. "You changed the ending," I said. "Yeah, the old version was true then. This one's true now." She stood beside me. "That scarf saved my life, not dramatically, but it reminded me someone could care, that I wasn't invisible, just unseen. And those are different things. Very different. So thank you for being angry enough to switch those gifts, for being brave enough to help us." She hugged me suddenly. "You're good people, Emma Torres." Richard joined us, looking at his daughter's art. "Can't believe I almost missed all this." "But you didn't," Sophia said. "That's what matters." We stood there, 3 of us, looking at art about invisibility in a room full of people who'd learned to see. I thought about that night in the break room, the red box, the gift card, the choice to do something small that became something big. Sometimes the world changes because of grand gestures, but sometimes it changes because someone switched a $5 gift card with a handmade scarf and refused to let cruelty masquerade as efficiency. Sometimes being invisible is exactly the position you need to change everything. So here's my question for you. What would you risk to be seen, to help someone else feel seen? Have you ever been invisible at work, in your family, in your life? Drop a comment below and share your story, because someone out there needs to hear that they're not alone, that their small acts of rebellion matter, that being overlooked doesn't mean being powerless. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about underdogs who refuse to stay down. Share this with someone who needs to remember that they matter, that they're seen, that their voice counts. Remember, sometimes the smallest gifts create the biggest changes. What gift will you give today?